Happy Valley rolls around for the first time this season on Wednesday night, and we have it covered for you right here on Racing to Win. Just the 8 races for meeting number 2 of the new season. It's the regular panel on the show today. Paul Lally and Tom Wood joins us. And Tom, before we go forward, what a day for Hong Kong it was on Sunday.
Certainly was, Mark. Hello to you and everyone. Yes, Kaying Rising, of course, but over in Korea at Seoul, the Hong Kong representatives acquitted themselves very well, including self-improvement winning, but Changcheng Glory was pretty game in defeat as well. But Happy Valley Wednesday night, 8 races with the first at 7:05. There's
$1 million up for grab, Paul, in the DBS Manulife Challenge, which kicks off this week. Jackpot punters got something similar?
They have. There's $3 million going into the 6-up win bonus, so that's a decent one. And then $2 million going into the last race for the Quartet First 4 merge pools. Always a popular bet type, and that last race looks really open as well.
One of your favourite competitions too, Tom, the DBS Manulife. It runs right through to February.
Yeah, it certainly does. Connections of Class 3, 4 and or Class 3, 2 and obviously the limited Class 1 races we have at Happy Valley. They get opportunity to pick up points for some of the cash at the end of the competition.
Absolutely. So it begins. There's just the 2 races that is eligible on Wednesday night, and this is the details. We do a race on the A course, 7:05 the first. We'll go right through until 10 minutes to 11 local time. As you can see, the 2 Class 3s, and the one race we will preview is the 5th, which will come up on the other side of the break. That is because the first part of the show is all about news and interviews, and Brett Crawford had his first runner at Sha Tin on Sunday. Went so close with a speedy Smarty, but Nick sat down with the latest South African to call Hong Kong home.
Brett Crawford, many thanks for joining us. It's been a little while since we last spoke, but you've now got the team uniform on. You're well and truly in situ. How is everything?
No, all good. Must say, I think things have transitioned really well, settled in nicely. The yard's coming together. I think got a really good team that I'm super impressed with. So very grateful for that. And yeah, obviously we've got a few horses in, so it's nice to get up in the morning and do a bit of work.
Indeed. We'll get onto those horses in due course, but what's been the biggest building block, Brett, since obviously coming from South Africa? I imagine it's quite a different place, obviously everywhere is, but what's been the biggest sort of learning curve so far?
Look, I think, you know, obviously the tracks are slightly different, but I think the tracks are really, really good. You know, it's incredible the amount of rain that these tracks can handle. At home, we certainly wouldn't be working on certain days when you get the downpours that you get here. So, you know, I think that's been really interesting for me. But I must say things run really smoothly here. Everything runs on time, and you know, it's actually a pleasure.
You seem, Brett, like you're very much looking forward and excited about training here, but also the addition of Chung Fa as well. Obviously, that adds a whole, you know, extra dimension, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, I think, you know, it's for me, it's a necessity in Hong Kong racing. I think the facilities that it has is really state-of-the-art, world-class, and it just helps you with those horses that are struggling a little bit. You know, you can send them back there, and you have alternatives of, obviously, you have a few more grass barrier trials compared to here, and just the facilities, you know, the treadmills, the aqua walkers, the spas. There's just such a variety, and you know, I think you can turn a horse's mind around there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking, obviously, you're a very proud South African, it would seem, Brett. I mean, the sort of the history here with, you know, the South African trainers and jockeys. I mean, we go back down through the years, of course, the likes of, you know, your Basil Marcuses and Douglas Whites, of course, when he was riding and now training, and now the sort of the new brigade as far as jockeys are concerned. Your Lyle Hurtsons, your Luke Ferraris, your King de Mellos. I imagine you're proud to be a part of that, but are these guys as well that you're going to sort of lean on a little bit?
Yeah, look, obviously, you know, anything in life's about building relationships. So obviously I've got relationships already cast in cement with all of those guys. So, you know, it's not to say that those are the only relationships we're going to have. Not at all. I mean, end of the day, you know, I think Hong Kong's really spoiled for the choice of jockeys that you have. I think you've got really world-class riders here from top to bottom. So, you know, we'll use, there are owners obviously who have preferences in horses, so you have to respect that. But no, I mean, obviously the South African guys have done quite a lot of work for me already, but you know, a few of the local boys and Zach as well have done some work. So yeah, we'll just be doing what's best for the horses, and obviously, you know, at the end of the day, like I say, building relationships is key.
Horses, let's talk about the team. Now, obviously, I've had a look at those that are in your stable. You've got some nice horses that probably need a little sort of, you know, revigorating. But I mean, I had a look, I mean, Golden Empires, Beauty Infinity, just to name but a couple. Two horses that can certainly do the job.
Yeah, look, I think you know, we've been fortunate enough to get horses across the board. I mean, obviously from Class 5 right up to Class 3 and even Class 2. So it's nice to be able to have a bit of a variance in the yard. But as you say, you know, I think a few of them have lost their mojo a little bit. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, horses lose their form, but they don't lose their ability. So it's just about turning them around, trying to get the mindset right. And I think if we can do that, then as you say, I think we've got a few horses. There's quite a few that have dropped in the rating, so they look like they're in the right place, or if not, they're very close to being in the right place. So yeah, I think we've got some room to move, and you know, it's going to be interesting. So far, the two horses that have trialled have trialled pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the way they've come through their trials. So you know, it's all part of the learning curve, but yeah, it's not that I've walked away scratching my head and disappointed with the way they've trialled. So one of the mottos in the yard is step by step. So that's what we'll do.
Brett Crawford there, Tom. We're going to bring up the graphic now of Brett's stats in South Africa, and they're very impressive.
Yeah, they certainly are, with what he was able to do over there. Over 1,400 winners, Durban, July, for a couple of seasons there in a row, 2023 and 2024. Of course, he won the Cape Town Met on numerous occasions there, and obviously his son James, who is now running their operation over in South Africa. And that will be a good opportunity for more South African horses to come here. And we've seen, certainly since those rules allowing those horses to come here easier, they've seen a few more arrive. Yeah,
he sounds like he's got a really good infrastructure in place, isn't he, with his son, similar to David Hayes, I suppose, in a way, with the son's taking over the yard there, and same happening in South Africa. So I'm sure he's going to get a lot of experience as well, James, so we might see a bit of him coming over.
And we'll see Brett's next runner on Sunday with Only You.
There has to be a chance too, Only You. He looked really unlucky, a couple of starts going, was 3 wide all the way last start and still ran on for a minor placing. So it's not a bad runner to have there coming up on the weekend.
And he's trialled quite well down the straight too, has Only You. That is Brett Crawford, but what a day it was for Jerry Chow, who made the trek to South Korea on Sunday. Took home a win and a very narrow second.
Jerry Chow, good to see you back to the track this morning after what was a very exciting and fruitful weekend over in Korea. All the focus here, of course, was on a certain Kaiying Rising, but you flew the flag well for Hong Kong, China over there with self-improvement. Many congratulations and big thrill for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a very good win for me, and represent Hong Kong, and yeah, very happy.
Talk me through the race, Jerry. I mean, obviously it's a different surface to what the horse is used to, what you're used to as well, but he seemed to handle it really well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's very lucky. It's raining. He skipped raining until the race start, and then the track condition is good. And I think the raining surface is more suitable for the Hong Kong horses because it's more similar to Hong Kong all-weather track.
And going into the race, Jerry, I mean, obviously on ratings, he had a little bit to find, but I mean, he really knuckled down for you and battled to the line, didn't he?
Yeah, before the race, I only concerned about the rating because he like 30 rating different than the other horses, but he tried good before we go, and he get up, he do his track work well, and he get very settled. He did everything right. He's very professional, and I thought he will run a good race before. Yeah.
Jerry, for those that perhaps don't know, I mean, I've never been to Seoul Racecourse. Paint the picture for us. What is it like over there in South Korea? I mean, there seemed to be a really big crowd there. Obviously, that was their big day. I imagine it was a really exciting day to be a part of.
Yeah, there's very good race course and very big, got a very big grandstand and a lot of people and they cheering and very excited and yeah, be there is my honor. Yeah.
You talk of it being an honour, of course. I mean, great win. You've obviously had group success here in Hong Kong. I imagine it's up there with some of your career highlights.
Yes, it's my first overseas group winner, and I hope it will be more soon. And yeah, it's a very good memory. Yeah.
Great day for Jerry Tom with self-improvement winning, and Cheng Cheng Glory was so brave in defeat.
He looked like he had it at one point up the straight there, the way really fought on, and then just the other horse had the momentum down the outside. But be interested to see how they come back, those horses, and what they do with self-improvement, because he got 14 points in the handicap here.
Yeah, it was like Hong Kong bet Japan, Japan bet Hong Kong, wasn't it? They were fighting it out in both those two races. So good wins. Yeah, I mean, self-improvement definitely, because we know him as a sort of all-weather specialist here, and he'll run out of races now.
Manfred looking at more world travellers with Lucky Sweynesse heading to Japan likely.
Yeah, I think that's a really good move for Lucky Sweynesse. You might as well have a crack over there, wouldn't you? I mean, he'll come up against a Tono Rev by no doubt.
Absolutely. So that is what has happened in the last few days in both Hong Kong and Korea. But right now we're going to take a break here on Racing to Win. We'll come back and preview Happy Valley right after this. You're watching Racing to Win, the show we preview Hong Kong racing twice every week, and it's Happy Valley today's episode, and we're going to delve right into Happy Valley now. And Paul, we're starting with your last run reminder. Who have you found for us?
Yeah, we're going to find a John Size horse. So John Size already had a winner this season, and here he is. This is a Grand Nova. You can see him coming down the outside. Now, his wins have been over 1,000 metres. He's had 2 wins here in Hong Kong. They went quite quick, and he was on this pace. He actually hit the front about here, and he was just sort of worried out of it. He was in a close go there for third. And I think with that sort of work that he's done already this season leading into it, he'd be a good bet.
Into Class 4, Race 3, number 4, Grand Nova is the last run reminder. Race number 5 is the Focus race, the Central Handicap, and it's a Class 3 over the 1,650 metres and embraces. Races pretty well first up. Highland Rahi last start winner, just an extra £2 on his back. Grade Charger goes from the 14 to the 1650. Harmony Galaxies placed 4 from 9 course and distance. Noble Pursuit's a dual first up winner. SJ Torbian flying. He's looking to make it 4 wins in a row. Wrote a New Page has won his last 2, comes up in grade, and Casa Rochester and Samarkand round out the field for race number 5. Highland Rahi is the leader, Paul.
He likes to lead. He's a horse that likes to get to the front and dominate from the front and set up some pretty quick sectionals. And he has drawn barrier 1, so he should lead. Now, Outgate's led in the past, but he can sit him behind. Wrote a New Page. He led when he won his last start, but I don't think he's got the same sort of pace as Highland Rahi. Samarkand could do a bit tough, likes to go forward. Casa Rochester will get his opportunity. SJ Torbian keeps winning at the moment. And the Grey Charger and Embraces, they're the ones that have got no early speed.
Wrote a New Page looking to come in to Class 3 with a debut victory in this grade. And Nick with his jockey now, Harry Bentley.
Harry Bentley, you've got a really nice ride coming up on Wednesday night. First meeting at the Valley, of course, on Wrote a New Page, who finished last season in good order, and he's an exciting one to get back on.
He is. He finished the season in really good form, and yeah, great to get back on board. Looking forward to seeing how he goes.
He's had a trial. I know you didn't ride him in that trial. You've ridden him in a bit of track work, but are all the reports sort of positive that he's in good order to hit the ground running?
Yeah, I mean, Danny's certainly good for getting his horses fit at the beginning of the season, and I don't expect this horse to be any different. I sat on him the other morning and he felt really good. He was moving very, very nicely, and yeah, all good.
He continues to sport his tongue tie, Harry, but he has had a rather different sort of gear change, if you will. He's been gelded. Talk me through that decision. Did you have any part to play in that?
I don't think I played much of a part, but it seemed quite obvious. There was just no point keeping him entire, and probably just get his mind focused on the job that little bit more, which is going to do no harm at all.
What he has shown, though, Harry, is a bit of versatility because, I mean, he won off the front last time, but he took a sit the time before and won. So you've got options with a horse like him, haven't you?
I do. It wasn't actually the initial plan going out to lead, but he jumped well and didn't seem much pace early on. And I knew from having ridden him previously that he's a horse that just gallops and lengthens rather than quickens off a slow pace. So I took the initiative and it paid off. So at least we've got those options. Whether we want to lead or take a seat, we can decide on the day.
I thought what was quite impressive for a horse who perhaps might not have been 100% fully focused, but when he was an end tire, he kept finding to the line for you, didn't he?
He did. As I mentioned, he's a horse that really gallops. He gets this trip no problem at all. He could probably go further in the future, and he's got a good attitude, so there's more to come.
Yeah, very promising 4-year-old indeed. Talking of good attitudes and the will to win, you were very much sort of in the right place, right time on the weekend. Mark Wynn, a chance spare, but a nice win nevertheless.
Yeah, you need a bit of luck every now and again, and I know this horse extremely well from having ridden him last season, and we were just denied on his last start at the end of last season, and unfortunately he bled that day. So he's a horse that I was hoping to get back on board. I was naturally disappointed to not be the first pick, but pleased I could step in as a super sub on the day. And another horse he should just gain a little bit of confidence again off getting his head in front. So there's more to come, hopefully.
Just on, wrote a new page, Paul. Is he good enough to come up into Class 3 and win at his first attempt, or has he struck a really strong field?
I think he struck a strong field. I've got him in the numbers because he's obviously in good form at the moment, and that gelding operation can really help these horses focus as well. But I have got one to beat him.
Yeah, so do I. He's obviously dropped 50 pounds with that gelding operation as well, has wrote a new page, and it took him a few runs to come on last season, so maybe that might be the case again.
Highland Rahi, Tom, he's a horse that found form the longer that last season went. Simmercam is a Wednesday night regular. He comes here on the back of 2 trials. Do you have either of these two in?
Definitely got Highland Rahi, and he had a great season last season. He won 3 of 14, was placed multiple times as well. In this race here, he ran a 27.15 lead section, followed by a 23.42. So had them cooking with gas fairly early on, did Highland Rahi, and he was able to hold out Prestige good. He's had a trial leading into this. Zach Purton as well from Barrier 1.
Yeah, look, I've definitely got him in, especially from Barrier 1, because he's not going to have to work too hard in the early stages to get to that lead. But he is a horse that does like to grind them into the ground, and as such, he might set it up for something coming from the back.
SJ Torbjorn, Paul, can't fault what he has been doing when we last seen him. He's looking for 4 wins in a row, but the last 3 wins have all been over further distances, and he hasn't had a trial.
He hasn't, and his fresh up record's terrible. He's had 4 goes fresh and hasn't done much either. So, look, I'm happy to watch him here coming back in trip, but he's obviously been in the form of his life recently. He's
7-year-old rising 8 at the beginning of the new year coming up. Alice Wong taking some weight off his back, stepping back up at a Class 3. I'm not sure he would have been on my bingo card at the end of last season to win 3 in a row.
No, absolutely. Yeah, Dennis had him absolutely flying. His embraces, Tom, he's taken the step to 16.50 well. He's near enough to last turning for home. And with the possible anticipated pace in the race, it's going to help a horse like him, isn't it?
Absolutely. He can stay on this horse. He's got a good turn of foot in the straight here. We saw him wind up nicely over the final stages here, and he was only beaten a length. He made up a lot of ground in the straight here behind Embraces. He was pushed out in a trial, but it was over an unsuitable trip behind Kaying Rising.
He's won fresh in the past as well. That first time he did step up to 16.50. Looks the ideal distance, race run to suit, so yeah, I quite like him in this.
Speaking of winning fresh up in the past, Paul, Noble Pursuit has done it twice, and he comes in here on the back of a recent all-weather trial. He runs 4th, but he was getting home rather nicely.
He was, and this is over the 1200 as well, so, you know, up to the 16.50 looks the ideal for him. He's drawn barrier number 2. He'll probably settle back midfield on the rail from that inside draw, so he'll get his chance once again. He has got that fresh record with Luke Ferraris aboard, so he's another one with a chance.
Luke was aboard in this trial. He ran on nicely over the final stages, I thought, here. Only did win once last season. Of course, that was fresh off a rating of 72, carrying 129 pounds. Drops here to 122 pounds, fresh up. So if you got 10 to 1 around him, I think you'd be fairly happy.
Absolutely. Now, Casper Fownes retained the King of the Valley crown last season. Tom, this is where they finished at the end of the Happy Valley meetings for season 24-25. Casper with 27, and he trains Noble Pursuit.
Yeah, he certainly does. Casper's already had a winner through the early part of the season on the opening day, and he's got Lucky Generations lining up in Class 5 with Super Sicario in the second of the Class 5s. Super 60 had a good season last season. Noble Pursuit and Monarch County, a last start winner, stepping up in the grade. So not big in terms of numbers, Casper, but been a couple of seasons since he had got that King of the Valley title, but he got it back last season.
He did indeed. So he sits on top of that. Paul, we'll head Chung Fa now and have a look at the trial of Outgate and also Grade Charger. Grade Charger pretty hard to have, and what he's done with limited racing experience. The grey Outgate, how do you assess him?
Look, I quite liked him last time. I made him the long shot, and he actually got punted into about 5-1 that time. And look, he wasn't too far away. He's got barrier number 3. He won't lead. He has run his really good races when he does lead, but he can sit in just in behind the pace. I've got him in on a very minor line.
Well, he ran at 27.32 last time out for the lead section, so went fairly quick from barrier 12 to get across the face of the field and lead, but I don't have him in here this time round.
There's a breakdown of runners leading into race number 5. Paul, what's your top 4?
Got to go with Embraces, good fresh record, and he should get the race perfectly run to suit. Rode a new page with a lightweight coming up in grade. Highland Rahi will try and steal it off the front, and then Outgate should sit just in behind the pace. 1926.
Went with 7 on top here, and that is Noble Pursuit. He's coming into this fresh. He's trained by Casper Founds. He goes well fresh. He's down in the weights here, and he's trialled up well at Sha-Tin on the all-weather Luke Ferraris rides. Rode a new page, I think definitely right in amongst the calculations, as to Highland Rahi, who can whiz along in front. And if they do go quick in front, that could set it up for Embraces to come from the back. Cody Moe and Jerry Chow fresh back from those that win, and the placing, of course, in Korea. 7, 9, 2 and 1.
That's race number 5, and all the races are previewed on the website with Paul's selections at hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for race-by-race analysis. But of the 8, Paul, which have you chosen as your best bet race?
Went with race 6, Super Unicorn. This horse has got a good fresh record. He ran second fresh up, and then he won by 5 lengths. Now, he got punished quite heavily for that win, and he didn't manage to win the rest of the season, although he did run a close second off of 62 rating. He now drops back into Class 4. He's rated 58. I thought the trial along the rail was pretty good. Zach Purdom rode him in the trial. He's going to stick with him on race day, and he went cruise to the line. So I think he's just about ready to win again. Now he's had that trial under his belt. And Thriving Brothers was 3 wide all the way last time and finished a really close-up placing at the back end of last season. I think he'll be at a decent price. And the play of the day will go early in race number 3 with Moon Rocket coming to Happy Valley, Grand Nova, which was the 2 to follow up the last run reminder, and Harmony Fire, 2, 4 and 9.
Best bet comes up in the 4th race, Mighty Steed, to Vincent Ho, Francis Lloyd teaming up. Of course, Vincent amongst the winners on Sunday at Sha-Tin. This horse ran well at the back end of last season. He's yet to win here in Hong Kong, but it was a good performance in this recent trial. I didn't think this was an overly strong race, and he seemed to win this quite easily. So he's had that 1 second placing behind Red Majesty, where he all but led all of the way there. Mighty Steed. The value with Noble Pursuit, Luke Ferraris, Casper Founds. He's in race 5, number 7. 4-time winner is Noble Pursuit. And the play in the last, Storming Dragon, who went oh so close last season. King of Fighters has got the blinkers on, and Thriving Brothers in there as well.
Great Spirit comes up as the best race as well. First up, Matthew Poon, Dennis Ship combined, 2-time winner from 16 starts. Really like the draw and the trial from him also. Sergeant Pepper trialled like a rocket. Don't like the draw, but do like the fact he's a 5-time winner course and distance in this grade. And the play will go race 7, Bienvenue, Great Spirit, Lucky Sam Gore, 2, 6 and 11 in a QQP. That's all of the information for Wednesday night. Tom, we're going to bring up the diary now before we say bye-bye.
Yes, we've got Sha-Tin Sunday, where we've got 10 races, mixture of Class 3, 4 and 5. We've got a Class 3 down the straight with the all-out lining up, Paul, for the first time this season, a 2-time winner last season.
Yeah, and a couple of all-weather races, first ones for the season, 2 of those as well.
Absolutely. So that has been the Racing to Win latest episode. Big thanks to both Paul, Tom and to you as well. We'll see you at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Slightly later start with just the 8 races from 7:05.